The following video features excerpts from 2 recorded live lessons that are available to members at thevirtualinstructor.com. For more information on how you can access the complete videos, as well as all of the other recorded live lessons and courses, visit thevirtualinstructor.com/members. I have my watercolor pencils. And the watercolor pencils I'm using here are the Derwent brand. Here's a look at the cover of the tin I have. Not get too carried away with all the details here. Like I said, we're going to be loose. We're going to keep things as simple as possible. Now, the direction that you make your strokes here is important because with watercolor pencils, the texture of the paper and the texture of the mark that you make will show through even after everything has been activated. So you can see those that little bit of light violet there is still showing through, and those colors just mix really nicely. And just on the other side we can still see some of the trees through here, so I'm going to leave a little bit of space there in case we want to make sure we add them. Maybe I'll just slowly bring that up, or gradually bring that up rather. And you know, our viewer doesn't have to know that that's a wagon. They don't have to know what it is. They just have to see a different shape or a different color, and usually that's enough to add some interest to the drawing. I don't know, maybe you're the same as me, or maybe you're one of those people that is more process oriented, likes to go through every step of the process. That's fine either way. Okay, there's a tree trunk kind of off in the distance, so I'm going to go ahead and fill that in with the copper beech. If you wanted to, you could even leave some of this brown on here as brown. Definitely put a lot of focus on the barn. Now, of course, there are ink tints pencils too, which are a little bit different because they're actually ink that is activated. And then there's graphite tint pencils, which are colored graphite that are activated with water. So that helps sometimes, because some people are really afraid about pulling the masking tape off the paper, because if you're not careful, it can tear the paper. When you work so long on a painting, you don't want that to happen, of course. You see, it's pretty dark. See how strong that black can be? Let's see. Before we lift it and say, oh, that's too dark, we're going to give it a minute to dry a bit. And this area is what I'm talking about right there. And I love the purple down here at the bottom of the building kind of showing through there. All right. And try not to let yourself get too stiff with this. You know, allow it to be a little bit looser. All right, so whenever you're using brown and blue together, let's get that back in the shot here. A lot of times these can be used in conjunction to make darker values like blacks, natural blacks. They can also be used to sway the color temperature. Like for example, we can make a tree stand out as being different according to how we use the brown and the blue on here. We can make one tree a little bit warmer, one tree a little bit. And as I activate it, I'm going to try to make marks that kind of mimic the marks that I made with the pencil. Just kind of give the indication that there's more back there. And we'll just kind of let that fade out over here. And then we'll create somewhat of a horizon line back here. We'll put a very light application of that. And how we have that difference in space there because of the different application here. We've got the lighter heel and then the closer area, which is got stronger contrast. And sometimes it does. So, but you gotta be willing to try it and see what happens. All right, so we're getting a little bit of color here. Now, one thing I wish I would have done a little bit more here is creating breaks in the trees. Kind of pulled into creating these textures, and I don't feel like I have enough breaks in the trees. I've got a few breaks in the trees, especially over here, but not as much as I wish I would have had now in retrospect. And we go a lot darker in some of these areas, but I just want to kind of accentuate some of the branches that come out, and then we're gonna call this one finished. I think you guys kind of get the idea here. So I'm going to start down here, and we're going to let this black just sit on the surface, and even much like a branch would. And the branches can bend down and bend up. To learn how you can access the complete lessons, please visit thevirtualinstructor.com/members. Members have access to over 5 video courses, live instruction, and over 6,280 minutes of art instruction, which includes video courses, ebooks, weekly live instruction, and lesson plans. To learn more about membership, just click on the Learn More Now button.